Welcome to the show, everybody. Oh my goodness, on this rainy Thursday. My goodness, it's crappy out there. What is it? 64 degrees when I got up at 5 o'clock, and it's staying around 64, 60. It's not really great out there today. We were having some better weather in the last few days, and now it's that rainy September day, although my lawn loves it and the Meteor Crater weeds love it. Everything loves it. But when you got to get out there and it's a little bit chilly and a little bit wet, but that's okay. That's okay. We're here. We made it. You know who I am, Paul Calamere. Your city, your voice. 4680Q Radio in downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. That's where we're coming from. That's where we're broadcasting live from. And of course, you're listening to 4680q.com on the internet. You can catch the show live every day at noon, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Absolutely is on Wednesdays at noon. And if you're watching the video, you probably catch it around 3 in the afternoon. That's by the time I get it all loaded up in that and get it into YouTube and then on Rumble, X, and Truth Social. It's usually around 3 in the afternoon. You know, I was watching, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this thing, the Sphere in Las Vegas. If you've been to Las Vegas, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go look it up because it's just an amazing venue for concerts and everything. But they're playing The Wizard of Oz there. And I don't know if anybody likes The Wizard of Oz. I do. I love watching it. And it's a lot of deeper meanings in it than just a bunch of people dancing through poppy fields, hitting the Emerald City, and then going home after a tornado. But this sphere has it going on. It's showing The Wizard of Oz. It's all been reconstructed from the original movie, done to fit the dome with the side scenes that you usually don't see working with it. It's an amazing production. And you know, when they're in the poppy fields, if you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And it starts to snow. Glenda the Good Witch makes it snow. Well, it starts snowing in the sphere when that happens. And when the apples are throwing the apples at Dorothy, when she picked an apple and the men started throwing the apples drop out of the ceiling of the sphere that have the Wizard of Oz printed on them. Like they're like keepsakes, right? It totally blows you away. Anyway, I'm just mentioning that if you have a chance, go to YouTube and check out the videos from people who were there and who are saying this and describing it and shooting video while they're in there of it. It's totally crazy. It's totally crazy. That's what beautiful AI technology can do. You can't just search out alien spacecraft that are coming our way and are gonna, who knows what they're gonna do. It can also make fantastic old movies new again with a whole different twist on the way you watch the movies. Although it's the same movie, it's just out of this world. The flying monkeys look like they're right in the sphere, flying around. It's crazy. Okay, speaking of that, let's get to my sponsors. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, Hamill Machine Company, and Niagara Parks Commission. And you know, we're seeing this weather start to turn. I mean, look at it out there today. And you know, we're on the wrong side of the weather. Eventually, it's going to get cold and everything else is going to happen, including snow, eventually. And we don't want to get premature on that. But still, you have to be ready. You have to take your car in and get it checked out by Ken Hunter at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. You want to be proactive. You don't want to be waiting for the first snowfall when your car breaks down and have to deal with that. Just get it in. Ken's going to take a look at all your systems, throw it on the computer, look for error codes, fix them, check your brakes, check everything to make sure everything's okay. And you know what? It's a pay me now, pay me later situation, right? If you don't do it now and get it done proactively, it'll cost you a lot more down the road. So why not just take it in, be proactive, get it done before the winter rush hits them and you won't be able to take care of your car right away. I mean, why fool around? Why fool around with your car in safety? Get it ready. Make sure your heater's working for the winter. Make sure everything's working great. Today, you want your windshield wipers working, your washers. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Oakwood Drive, next to the Kia dealership. Full body shop. If you get in a wreck, take it to Ken. He'll fix it up and send it back to you in showroom condition. WildBillsAuto.ca. That's the website you go to see all the great stuff that they do there. Hey, and while you're there, go to the YouTube video for Your City, Your Voice at Paul Lemire, where you're going to find it there, and subscribe. We're up to 170 subscribers now. We want to make 200. Come on, let's go. It costs nothing to subscribe. You hit a little button, and then if you want to be notified, you hit the notification bell. And if you want to leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, you want to leave a comment. People leave comments all the time. You can do it right there at the video. So subscribe. I know 40% of the people who watch subscribe. The other 60 watch, but they don't subscribe. So go in there, subscribe. It's free. What the heck? Get involved. We have an election coming up in a year, provincial, regional. Geez, we have city elections coming up. We all want to be together. We want to discuss this. We want to know what's going on, and we want to get our vote in there to take Niagara Falls back. Let's go. We can't do it one at a time. We got to get together and to know what's going on. You tune into the show. Share it with your friends. Let them in on it. Let's go. It's a good time. Come on, let's go. Speaking of comments, let's go to comments right now. At Michelle Garrett, 7813. I always thought all court cases were allowed up to 3 remands only. That's a great question right there. I'm not sure about remands. I don't know if there's a number, but there doesn't seem to be a number. But I think what they're talking about, and she's talking about the Mike Strange case, the Counselor Strange case, where it happened in May. It was remanded 3 times now. June, July, and August has been remanded. The next date is September 24th, I think, somewhere in around there. And I think what they're talking about here is delaying the trial. Now, it has a limit of 18 months for provincial court. And that's where the Strange case is. If these timelines are exceeded, the case can be dismissed until more delays can be justified. So the answer is a maximum of 18 months with reasonable excuses to delay the proceedings. In other words, I don't feel like going to court is not a reasonable reason. So the lawyers have to come up with something like, we're still getting the facts together. We haven't got our case figured out yet and that kind of thing. Now, you think on this case, I would say this is a pretty clean-cut case. Police were called. A woman was assaulted. She needed medical attention. She said who the perp was. They arrested the perp, put him, charged him, and gave him bail. And now it's got to go to court. So it's pretty, I don't know what the extenuating circumstances would be or could be, but whatever's happening, the lawyers are, rallying and figuring it all out. And I guess the judge is determining that the delays are reasonable. Otherwise, he would just set a court date. No more delays. Here's your court date. Be there or else. So I don't know about remanded, how many times it can be remanded. It's remanded for a lot of different reasons. For example, to set bail, I'm remanded for 3 days to set bail or something if they want, if they don't set it right away. But for delaying the case, you can go 18 months. And, I've heard people say that he's going to keep delaying it until after the election next year, which would be close to 18 months. Well, it wouldn't be 18 months. It'd be probably 13 or 14 months. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But that's the way I understand it, Michelle. That's the best I can do for you here. I'm not a lawyer, unfortunately. I would have to get a legal opinion as to that. But that's what I read when they researched it. At the Iceman 69, those 15-minute houses on McLeod are a lot better than the 3,500 square foot ones Jimmy Hollywood has planned out for Chippewa and other areas in the city. And we're talking about Peter Dichter, we were talking about building an agricultural land and that kind of thing, needs to hop in his car and go for a ride. There's tons of agricultural land out there. Well, Peter Dichter, there you go. There's your challenge. Drive around and see all the agricultural land that's still out there. John Ringo Beam, Iceman, says there's lots. There's lots out there. I don't know about the 15-minute houses. I've never seen them. Are they building them? I didn't know if they were. I guess they are, John. He says they are. I don't know where they are. I might have to go for a ride myself. Where are they on McLeod Road, Iceman? I want to see these 15-minute houses. I've seen the 3,500 square foot ones. I haven't seen the 15-minute ones. Peter, Dichter, go for a ride. Another one at the Iceman 69. It's not the NDP calling for Canadian steel. It's Yosemite Sam, aka the Frito Bandito. I call him the Cheeto Bandito because he's orange. But yeah, he is NDP, John. I just so you know, he's NDP, so it's the NDP calling for it. I saw it with a lot of other NDPs calling for it using Canadian steel. So yeah, it wasn't just him. There's a couple other ones there. I would imagine Merritt Stiles is calling for it too. The one that would be PM. I mean, I don't get it though. Haven't they always been using Canadian steel for Canadian projects? And if they haven't, why not? Why not? Why haven't we been using Canadian steel? I mean, we have two plants right down here, 50 miles away. Why aren't they using their steel? I mean, it sounds to me like this is a cry, an elbows up cry. Nobody was yelling about using Canadian steel before Trump put tariffs on it. It's just an elbows up thing now that loudmouth Billy Bass in Queen's Park is crying about Trump. That's what it is. And you know, it's really funny because nobody's yelling about the boats being built in China for the BC ferries. They're spending $1 billion on boats. Nobody's yelling about that. And now WestJet has just said they're buying, I don't know, a whole fleet of planes from Boeing. Go to Seattle, I think they are. Yeah, they're buying like 50, 60 planes from Boeing. That's an American company. Nobody's crying about that. And then, you know, like nobody cries about the companies that are planning the Skyway Bridge in St. Catharines, all American, Dutch, everywhere else, France. I mean, you know, there's a lot of hypocrites that are rolling around in the mud. You know, they yell about and scream about everything, and then they're buying all kinds of stuff from other countries. I mean, even the submarines that they want to buy. Imagine the Canadian Navy wanting to buy submarines for what? What, the show down at the Naval Park in Hamilton? What are they going to do with the submarines? You know, they want to buy these submarines and spend, you know, $1 billion a copy or whatever they are. For what? What does Canada need submarines for? I don't even think we have enough men in the Navy to man them, even if they got 4 new ones. And you know who's going to make them? Germany or Korea. Yeah, they're not being made in Canada. Why not? Don't we have the talent in Canada to make submarines? I guess we don't. We have shipyards. They can't make them. We have plane factories that make planes. We can't make our own planes, jet fighters or otherwise, or passenger planes. I don't get it. It's just all grandstanding and showcasing and that kind of nonsense. It's political jibe, you know. It kind of makes you sick when you think about it. But there you go. You know, a bunch of phonies. A bunch of phonies. All of a sudden, for the last 6 months, they're starting to complain about everything. And then Dopey Dope, this other goofball's dumping whiskey down the drain, and we'll talk about that in a minute here. But yeah, yeah, sure, go ahead, you phonies. Okay, let's move on. Hey, do you want to say in the Niagara Falls budget, City Council, the budget? Well, the best way to have a say is elect new councilors that'll give you a say, but barring that until 2026 anyway, you can go to the city website and take the quiz. And I did take the quiz, and it's like, I'm going to keep saying this. It's like this pencil. No point. Won't write. No point. But you can go take the quiz if you like, but it's like the pencil. No point. Oh, it's rigged. It's rigged. But you do have your say. Now, most people, according to city council, want concrete ping pong tables and $17 million walking paths. That's what they said about the previous quizzes. That's what people want. I don't know what people, but some people want that. I don't know. Don't ask me. That's what they told us. That's what staff and council said. And that's what they voted to give us because people want it. I don't know anybody who wants a $25,000 ping pong table. I never talked to one person. In the walking path, I mean, for the 20 people who wanted it or whatever that voted, I don't know. They're wacky, these people. Yeah, so that's what they want. Just go to the city's public engagement pages. Let's talk and do the online survey. You have until October 30th. The squirrel, Tiffany Clark, is behind this and says that input from residents is important. Yeah, she said that. Like it really is. Input from residents means squat. And Niagara Falls works towards a 6% budget increase. That reflects the priorities and values of the community. But you know what? How about my input? A 0% increase. Quit wasting our money. Don't be spendthrifts. We don't have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem. Survey's a joke, let's face it, just to make you feel like you're involved. Oh, we have a say. I mean, the participatory budgeting, things that you said you want, that's what's claimed, is allocated at the rate of like 200,000 out of $200 million budget. I mean, that process right there brought us $25,000 concrete ping pong table, a $40,000 pollinating meadow, which we got right over here across the street for free, a $60,000 misting and water bottle filling station, $5,000 chess and checker tables, $2,500 benches, all the stuff that we don't need. That's what it brought us. That we really don't need. It's two people said they want it. Let's face the fact. I mean, let's face it. Do the survey, but have your blood pressure machine handy because it'll probably go up while you're doing it. And that's a public service announcement, a tip from Dr. Paul. Oh, NDP. NDP. I got them NDP on my mind, the big orange. I know there's a lot of people going to be dressing in orange pretty soon in the United States, so I got orange on my mind. Now, Niagara Regional Police are launching a big campaign to stop shoplifting. Okay. They're cracking down. That's what they said. We're cracking down on shoplifting. So, how did they make out so far? Well, they arrested 19 people for shoplifting. We're going to be back on the street in about an hour after they're arrested and shoplift more. And they recovered $570 of $3,000 worth of goods stolen. Shoplifters stole $3,000 worth of goods. 19 shoplifters they caught. They recovered $570 of the 3,000 they stole. So let's do a little bit of math here, some ciphering. 19 thieves, 3,000 worth of goods, so $157 worth for every thief, of which they recovered $30 worth. Now, this probably cost taxpayer tens of thousands of dollars to catch 19 people stealing $157 worth of goods. And it's all for naught because the thieves are going to be back on the street in an hour doing it again. I'm sorry, but the police can be doing something better than this, like catching murderers and drug dealers. Dealing with petty theft, I mean, yeah, I get it, the broken window theory and all that. If you arrest them, people get arrested, but does it really matter if you arrest them and let them back out in the street? And that's what's going to happen. Got to start somewhere, yes. And shoplifting is shoplifting. It's taking money away from people. It's stealing. But without penalties associated with it, what good is it? What good is it? It doesn't really matter. The maximum sentence for theft under $5,000 is a fine up to $5,000 and 2 years in prison. Other consequences are there as well. So these guys are going to not get charged $5,000. They're not going to 2 years in prison. They're not going to do any time. They're going to be let out on the street. They're told to be good. Don't let me see you in this court a 10th time. It takes at least 20 times before you even get charged. Now, other consequences, a criminal record, which the perpetrators probably already have. It's not their first rodeo. Court fees, which the perpetrator doesn't have any money to pay anyway, seeing as how they were shoplifting $30 or $157 worth of goods in the first place. And civil demands. Store owners looking to get their money back. That's the civil demands. But if they don't have any money, how are you going to get any money back? So, okay, it sounds good in the press, like, oh, we're doing something, but it doesn't matter. This is the problem in Canada. This is the problem. Crime doesn't matter. You murder people, you assault people, you stab people, you steal jewelry, break into stores, do whatever you want, and there's no repercussions. You're out the next day because the turnstile in the courthouses let you back out on the street. If we saw some maximum sentences, you shoplifted, 2 years, $5,000 fine. Can't pay the $5,000 fine? Another year. I mean, this is what's got to happen. Then people say, ooh, geez, I'm not going to shoplift. I'm not going to jail for 2 years with a $5,000 fine. I mean, if you're not going to do that, and that's the broken window theory. James Diodati there, King James, got it all wrong. He don't know what it is. The broken window theory is you break a window on a building, you go to jail. And other people say, ooh, I better not break a window. I'm going to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail for breaking a window. I just don't do it. I put the rock down. But if you don't have any kind of sentence, then that doesn't work. Rudy Giuliani worked the broken window theory, and he did it well and stopped crime in New York City, dropped it a ton. And listen to Curtis Lewa. He'll tell you exactly what happened. So that's what you need. But if we're not going to do that, they're not going to do that, then it means nothing. I mean, seriously, if you're going to be a victim of crime, you've got to be able to protect yourself because the police won't. The courts won't. So there's nobody left except yourself. Now, the police are saying the best way, this is the chief cop in Ontario, the best way to prevent yourself from becoming a victim is to be a victim. In other words, if somebody's going to steal something from you or breaks into your house or anything, let them break in, let them take everything that you got. Let them take everything. Let them take everything. Don't even try to stop them so that you're not a victim. In other words, the guy doesn't pistol whip you or something or shoot you or knife you. Just stand back, let them take anything they want, and that's the best way. And that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Are you kidding me? Instead of trying to stop the guy from stealing, the police, they tell you to let him steal. I mean, it's totally ridiculous. How about this? How about being able to carry a concealed weapon? How about that? Guy breaks into your house, you put a gun in his face and shoot him. Stand your ground laws. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but that's the rules that we need. There's just too much crime and the cops can't do it, can't take care of it. So you got to take care of yourself. And I'm going to get to a shootout in Hamilton last night after I talked about my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And the sign of a good pizza is consistency and using quality products and knowing how to make a pizza. So, Pete's Pizza, what do? They use the Mancini family recipe for sauce and crust. It's been around for 40 years, tried and true. People love it. And then they take mozzarella and brick cheese blend and put it on the pizza in the right ratio to the sauce. Then they cook it just right with fresh toppings. You can't go wrong. And here's the key. They do it like that every time. You have a pizza and it's good every time. And that's the most important part, consistency. But they're not just a one-trick wonder over there on Victoria Avenue at Pete's Pizza. They also have fantastic chicken wings. They have fantastic poutine, panzerotti, steak and cheese poutine, steak sandwiches. They have the whole thing, and they're introducing the chicken parm sandwich at the end of the month. I believe it's coming. I think we said the other day that it was already here. It isn't here yet. The end of the month, they're introducing it as they open their second store for all you guys in the North End. They're putting a store on Thorlestone Road and Kaler Road where the old Pie Guys was. So now the North End people can enjoy those beautiful pizzas coming out of Pete's Pizza from Victoria Avenue. Same guys own it, opening another store for your convenience. Open till 2 in the morning for your convenience on Friday and Saturday. Till midnight during the week. You can't go wrong. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Pete'sPizzaVictoria.ca is where you go on there to order. They use Dine, they use Skip the Dishes, the whole shop. You can't go wrong. Support our sponsors. They support the show. They're good corporate citizens and they support the city. And they're opening a new one for you guys. Exciting, exciting. It should be open anytime, maybe next week. Then look for that chicken parm sandwich. Okay, back to Hamilton, where there was a shootout last night where 3 people were shot and 80 shots fired using multiple guns, including an assault weapon, whatever that is. And I'm not quite sure what they're talking about. They're talking about a rifle, an assault weapon. Like there's really no such thing as an assault weapon, but that's what they use in the media to scare you. It's a big black gun, big black rifle that scares people. It's an assault weapon. That's what they used. And the police said that, and I'll quote you what the police said. It gets, ad nauseum. It gets repetitive because this is what they always say. For the last 10 years, this is what they're saying. That this level of violence is completely unacceptable. We will not tolerate such behavior and are committed to identifying the suspects, yeah, sure, and ensuring they will be held fully accountable for their actions. I mean, is this some kind of a joke? They say this every time. Is this some kind of a joke? They know who they are. Been going on for 10 years. You open the borders, you let everybody in. This is what happens. And now they won't tolerate such behavior. All of a sudden, they won't tolerate it. That's what they say every time. But they do. Are they living in another dimension, these people? They're way out there. What's the matter with them? I don't get it. They arrest these guys. They won't print their names. Then they let them back on the street the next day with cashless bail. Do they expect me to believe that they won't tolerate such behavior? Because they tolerate it. Every day we see this. I mean, 29 shootings in Hamilton this year. 2 innocent bystanders have been killed. Had nothing to do with it. Just collateral damage. There's no actions on the street for authorities to stop it. Every day we see about it, stabbings. And that's not including stabbings and muggings and everything else happening. That's just 29 shootings. Now, guns are illegal. Guns are illegal. Who are they getting? And this goes back to this idiot Carney or whoever the hell wants to ban guns. They're going to do a gun buyback and ban guns. Guess what? When you ban guns, you're taking them away from honest citizens. You're not taking them away from the criminals. They ain't going to hand in their guns. Not handing in any guns. You're just disarming the general public who needs protection. That's all you're doing. Hamilton's is a mess right now. And why don't we call in the National Guard? Do we have a National Guard in Canada? We haven't had a National Guard. We got something because they trampled people up in Ottawa when the truckers were blowing their horns. Why don't we get those same people on the streets of Hamilton and clean it up like Trump's doing in Washington? How about locking up these murderous gangbangers? I mean, the cops know who these people are. They know who they are. They're just powerless to stop them. That's all. How about deporting them back to where they came from when they get caught? Seriously, people, we all know who they are. It's the same people all the time. Cops know who they are, but the cops won't throw them in jail or get rid of them. So all I can tell you is here, you read that statement, just keep reading it over. This level of violence is completely unacceptable. Rubber stamp it on a piece of paper, give it to the media because that's all they're going to do. It's always the same thing. And we get back to passing concealed carry laws. When you can protect yourselves from criminals and stand your ground laws so that threats can be eliminated if needed. I mean, that's what we need. The cops can't help you. They're going to give you this, that this level of violence is completely unacceptable. We won't tolerate it, but they do. They do. How about concealed carry? Throw a gun on your hip, or even open carry. I don't care either one. It doesn't matter to me. Concealed carry, open carry, and guess what? Guy pulls a gun on you. He goes to rob you. He does anything. You pull your gun out and you shoot him. Stand your law. Stand your ground law. I mean, even for crooks, there's nothing more intimidating than a guy standing there with a gun on you. Believe me. Good guy, bad guy, whoever has the gun, they pointed at you. You have an attitude adjustment immediately. Especially if you know that to carry that gun, they have to be trained. They got to go through training. They got to be licensed. And it's at their ready. They know how to use it. Makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. Otherwise, like the cop said, the best way to be a victim is to not be a victim. Give them everything. Don't be a victim. Give them everything. Be a victim so you won't be a victim. Gabish? Gabish? Have faith. One day, somebody's going to step in and do something about it. I can't see anybody right now on the horizon, but one day we're going to get somebody who's going to stand for law and order and is going to straighten these cities out. We're starting at Toronto, Hamilton, wherever. I don't care. We have the resources. Let's use them. Let's go over to this Edsel Ford guy. You know, this guy's a buffoon. This guy's a buffoon. We have a real clown for a premier. See what he did? He poured a whole bottle of Crown Royal down the drain. Now, what's this going to prove? What the heck was that all about? Oh, they're shutting down a bottling plant in Amherstburg, so we're going to pour a bottle down. Don't buy any more Crown Royal. And people actually think Crown Royal is a Canadian company. No, it's owned by Diego or somebody. I think it's a Spanish company. It's not even owned by Canadians. That's like Tim Hortons. It's not owned by Canadians. It's not Canadian. It's no more Canadian than Mahatma Gandhi. Name somebody. And you know, this is a $60 bottle of whiskey, and pouring it down the drain. I mean, it's ridiculous. Who can afford to pour a $60 bottle of whiskey down the drain these days with all the taxes and everything else? Who's gonna just pour 60? I mean, no American booze on shelves. Now Canadians are talking about boycotting Crown Royal. Let's get it off the shelves, and people are going, "No, it's Canadian. We don't want it off the. It's not Canadian. It's not Canadian. It's not Canadian. You can boycott Crown all you want. I don't care. I couldn't care less. It gives me agita. I mean, but you know, go buy 40 Creek. That's Canadian. That's who I'd buy if I was going to, boycott anybody. I'd buy 40 Creek because that's Canadian. How he's doing, pouring whiskey down the drain and everything else, aggravating. He's just aggravating the situation with the U.S. It's like a pebble in your shoe ready to be taken off and emptied out. He'll be emptied out soon enough. He obviously wants to lead the Conservatives to be PM. He wants to take over the representative of the Conservative Party and be Prime Minister. It's all show and tell, all these things that he's doing, calling Trump names, telling him he's going to cut off his power. It's all a big show. This guy's a liberal. He's as liberal as they come. I mean, he's a left-wing red liberal. He'll be wearing blue for the election, maybe, but don't believe a word he says. And you know what? He has a good chance at winning the nod for the Conservative Party, believe it or not. I mean, I maintain that Pierre Poilievre, whatever his name is, I forgot how to say it. I call him PP. Somebody was mad at me for calling him PP. Only liberals call him PP. Well, I voted for him, and I'm a conservative, so that's what I say, PP, because I can't remember how to say his name. Pierre Poilievre. I think that's how you say it. But anyway, this guy had a 20% lead and blew it. This guy lost a riding that he held for 20 years. And yeah, they're blaming it on gerrymandering, but yeah, I don't believe that. You hold a riding for 20 years, and guess what? Who in your riding wouldn't want you to be prime minister, wouldn't vote for you? Only people who don't want you to be prime minister would vote against you. I don't think he's electable. I don't think he's electable. And talk about gerrymandering. He booted a guy out who got elected so he could go to a place where he was sure to get elected. Now he has a seat in the House of Commons. Notice he wouldn't even have a seat. He'd be up in the nosebleed sections in the gallery. This guy's unelectable. I don't know who's going to get elected, but I bet you Ford can beat him in the race. I bet you Ford's more popular at the end of the day. We'll see what happens, but I'm kind of predicting that Ford's going to make a push for it. That's what his whole television, all this baloney on the television's about. He's going to make a push for it, and you know what? Polyev might get the boot. I don't think he's electable, and I know people will argue with me, and please do. Please argue with me. I know he got more seats than before, but it was at the expense of the NDP, not the Liberals. The NDP took a big crap with Jagmeet Singh. They lost everything. They're not even an official party. And the PCs picked up those seats. But the Liberals were like one seat away from getting a majority government. So, hey, sure, he picked up more seats. The NDP come back strong next election, and maybe PP doesn't get 100 and whatever seats he got. Doesn't pick up those extra 25 seats, 144, or whatever he was at. He might not get them. So the NDP voters may go back to the NDP if they get a good leader in there. So speaking of booze and this Edsel Ford pouring it down the sink, and I don't know where he's pouring it, on the ground maybe. Authorities figure that $77 million of booze was stolen over the last year or so. That's right. People walk in the liquor stores, these brown people, there's videos of them all over the internet, and just start loading up shopping bags full. No masks, nothing. They're right in front of the cameras. They don't give a damn. You know why they don't give a damn? Because they know the courts are going to do nothing. $77 million of booze has been stolen over the last year or so. Nobody can stop the theft. The LCBO people are told to stand down. Now, if they come in and take stuff, let them go. And I'm serious. These guys got big bags, and they're at the shelves, and they're just going like this. One bottle after the other. 10 bottles, 15, 20 bottles. And then they walk out. Nobody stops them. Nobody looks at them. They're all on camera. Nobody arrests them. They walk right out. No masks. No care in the world. They don't care. They know if they're arrested, they're probably going to be let off. And that'll be it. That'll be it. And then they round them up and sell the bottles, make money. And $77 million worth. And let me be clear, that $77 million worth comes out of your pocket. Taxpayers pay that tab. So they're not stealing from the Liquor Control Board. They're stealing from you and me and everybody else. Now, in the old days, it was, you go down to this liquor store over here. They steal from it all the time on the Victoria Avenue liquor store. They'll tell you, yeah, guys come in and steal and walk out. We don't even stop them. The homeless and bums and everything else, drunks. They steal Mickeys and go out and chug the Mickey out in the parking lot. Nobody even bothers them. They consider it leakage. Oh, it's leakage. I mean, it's been going on for a long time, but this is another level. This is a totally different level. These guys aren't walking in there grabbing a Mickey of a Canadian Club walking out. These are guys making money, and they're making big money. They're just hoofing it off the shelves, 20, 30, 40 bottles at a time. And like I say, the staff are told, don't intervene. Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. For trying to stop these guys. And this is where we're at. This is where the law is at. Let's go back to that line here. There's this level of violence, this level of theft is completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. It is, but nothing gets done about it. What the LCBO wants to do is adopt Manitoba's plan using multi-point theft prevention um, uh, plans. They're facing the same problem, but doing something about it. They want to keep customers and workers safe and are serious about stopping theft. They're ramping up the number of security guards that select stores that are the biggest problem stores, and implementing industry leading technology to stop thefts. ID checks at the door, and making high value products only available by request. Wow, we're going back to when I was a kid. What's old is new here. Remember when you used to have to go to the liquor store? Then you go in and there'd be counters with numbers and slips. And you would go in and you would pull out a slip and put the number for the booze you wanted. Number 737, Canadian Club Whiskey Mickey. Canadian Club Whiskey 26 ouncer. Canadian Club Whiskey 40 ouncer. You would check off the one you wanted, sign the slip, and take it to the counter. And the guy would look at it, and he'd go in the back, and he'd come back out with your bottle. He'd put it in a brown paper bag, because you couldn't walk out of the store with it exposed. Heaven forbid somebody would see it and become an alcoholic. Pretty Puritan times, Victorian era stuff. But that's how they used to do it. No booze on the floor, no booze on the display floor, no nothing. No bottles there. You couldn't take anything. You had to get over that counter and get in the little back warehouse there where all the booze was. And the guys would go and get it for you. So there's nothing to steal. If you remember, Consumers Distributing was the same way. You'd go in, look through the catalog, pick the number, write it down, take the slip to the counter, they go in the back and get it. That's what we might be looking at because people are stealing it like crazy. I mean, they're stealing your money. They're stealing your money, so they got to do something. They're in Manitoba. They're also going to have loss prevention officers, employees trained to catch thieves. They're going to be on hand to make out of store citizens arrests. So you grab the bottle, you run out, they can go out on the street and get you, make a citizen's arrest, and hold you until the cops come. And many believe in Ontario that there's a theft ring. Like it's not just a couple of guys going and stealing it and selling it. It's a ring, much like the car theft ring, the car hijackings and theft. Well, this is a booze theft ring. They know they're not going to get caught, so they just go in there and steal everything. Stay tuned. It's an ongoing thing in lawless Ontario where criminals are victims and victims are criminals. Look at the guy in Lindsay. I mean, for me, don't get involved if you see it happening. We're dealing with idiots here. They'll bash you over the head, stab you, just to escape with a bottle. Let them go. Let the cops deal with it. Where's our Trump? We need a guy like Trump to clean up this country and get all these illegals out and straighten out everybody here because it's just getting ridiculous. I mean, there's just no punishment for these criminals. Okay, let's get to my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Company. And whenever industry comes to town, they want to know there's a good machine shop to take care of them. What do I mean by take care of them? I mean that when they have a system that breaks down, a machine that breaks down, there's somebody they can call to come and repair the machine. They can take a look at the broken part. They can either fix it or re-engineer it. They have the technology and the people that can do these kind of jobs, not to mention machining and milling, fabricating, designing. They do it all at Hamel Machine Company. And when they work on anything for industry, whether it's the wine industry, the food industry, the agricultural industry, their goal is not only reinvent the part, but to reinvent it better. They want to re-engineer it to make it even more efficient for the company. That's what they do, and they ship parts all over the world that they make for these industries. But they haven't forgotten about you, the little guy. You need a set of gates for your backyard fabricated. They can design and fabricate them. You need something on your snowblower fixed. You sheared a pin. You need it milled. You need a key channel, a channel cut. They can do that all. They do it all. So they'll take care of us too, us little guys. Small industry, big industry, just regular people like us. They're going to take care of you. They're going to make sure everything works and get you going again. Time is money. These industries don't waste their time. They go to Hamel Machine Company in Niagara Falls since 1948. Yeah, they've been around. They know what they're doing. Hamel Machine Company. Go to hamelmachine.ca. Then you can see all the beautiful work they do for the wine industry and other industries. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you if you go visit them. And we thank everybody supporting our sponsor. We support our sponsors, and we thank you for supporting them as well. They're good people. Okay, a headline read. I read this headline, and I had to read it. Europe betrays Canada. And I'm not shocked. I mean, Europe, please. Not a great thing to see, considering that Chili con Carne has been doing a tour of Europe, trying to sign trade agreements and basically being a fool, coming back with nothing as usual. And this is what he does. I mean, he wants to deal with Europe. He wants to be part of the European Union, even though Canada's not in Europe. Oh, this is what he wants. I'm going to get back at Trump. We're going to go make deals with all the European countries and everybody else. You know what he's made? Stugats. He's made Stugats. That's what he's made. Nothing. Canada's exports have crashed. And Canadians are still buying goods from every country in the world. And that deficit is bad for the country. Oh, yeah, they might be boycotting the United States. Oh, big bad Trump. Tariff Trump. Oh, big bad. But they're buying from everywhere else. I already told you. We already talked about the submarines and the ferries and the steel. Chile was trying to do an end around on Trump and get free trade deals with these European countries. I mean, we have the biggest market, the biggest economy right over here. Half a mile from where I'm sitting is the border to Niagara Falls, USA. That's how far we have to go to make an agreement. I don't know. This guy's flying all over Europe, wasting our money, giving away billions while he's there. Here's a couple billion. Here's a couple billion for you. A couple billion for you, with nothing back, getting nothing back. And you know what? His negotiations with the USA have been useless, and Canada's suffering for it. Canada's suffering for it. His solution? More carbon taxes disguised as something called the Clean Fuel Regulations, which will add 17 cents a liter, 80 cents a gallon to gas prices for no reason. So I'm getting rid of the carbon tax. I'm getting rid of the carbon tax. And what's he do? He puts a worse tax on. A worse tax on. So all that's going to do, that new clean fuel regulation tax, it just makes you sick. It makes you sick. All the suppliers have to pay more in transportation costs. See those buses running on fuel? Oh, yeah. You have to pay more to ride them. See the city? They got to pay more for their vehicles, which means their taxes are going to go up again. See that grocery guy? All his deliveries are going up because those trucks use fuel. And guess who's going to pay that? He's not eating it. No, he's going to up the prices by a quarter, 10 cents a quarter. Prices are going to go up across the board. I mean, we're coming up to a long, hard winter in the middle of a recession. And that's what it is. Nobody wants to use the R word, but we are in a recession. Carney's spending money like a drunken sailor. Our debt's going to top 2 trillion soon. I mean, it's going to get ugly. No parliament sitting, no budget on the books. No budget. I mean, Canadians really, really screwed up last election. And we're getting punished for it. We're getting punished for it. It's just crazy. But it is going to end. It is going to end. We're going down the dumper. Nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody cares. Can't do nothing about it. What's Carney going to do? He's going to make it worse. That's his job. He wants to liquidate Canada to the highest bidder. Looks like China's going to be the highest bidder if it ends up. PP, what's he going to do? Well, we're going to have a non-confidence vote. And then we're going to have an election. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all you need is like two people from Quebec to say, vote against it, and you're done. And you're done. You got 169, 70 seats or something. They need two votes to carry a majority. We're screwed. We're screwed. Let's face it. I have faith. I have faith that something's going to straighten it out. Here it is. Faith. I don't know what. I can't tell you what. Because it's just, we're too much in the dumper right now, but something. Now, let's go down south to Venezuela, where the action's heating up. I mean, this is like watching a baseball game or something. Trump has 7 ships in the submarine and 4,500 Marines in the area. He's not fooling around. He's not fooling around. And Tuesday, the U.S. Navy took out a boat in the international waters off the coast of Venezuela, loaded with drugs and 11 Aragua narco-terrorists. I mean, the video's right there. I don't know if everybody's seen this yet, but it's amazing. The guys are in the boat driving, like 4 motors in the back, speedboat. And all of a sudden, this thing comes down, blows the hell out of them. They're gone. They're gone. They met their, they went to the 72 virgins or whatever they believe in over there. But yeah, nice exploding weapon. You can watch the video online. Ba-boom, they're gone. They went to meet their maker. And Trump's not fooling around with them anymore. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, said that the U.S. is going to wage war on the narco terrorists in international waters, so he warned Venezuela. When asked if this is even legal, Rubio said he's not going to answer that. That's for the White House Counsel. But suffice it to say, all of those steps were taken in advance. So, yes, it is legally saying, but you'll let the White House Counsel tell you about it. So, not fooling around. Now, this Maduro guy, there was an election, and this Maduro guy said he won it. He really didn't. And in the opposition has nothing to say. He's a dictator. He just took over. I mean, in South America and Central America, a lot of these countries, whoever has the biggest army wins, whether you win or not, they take over. But Trump's telling him, hey, Maduro, there's more where that came from. You want to run the terrorist cartels out of your country? You want to back them up? Then that's what you're going to get. And and Trump also upped the ante on Maduro's bounty to $50 million. Now, $50 million is a lot of money. So somebody's going to wipe this Maduro guy out. It's only a matter of time anyway. And they want him back in the States. They're going to do a Noriega on him, bring him back to the States and throw him in Florence ADX, maximum security prison in Colorado, and call it a day. Put him on trial for drug crimes. Now, Maduro, he's not stupid, right? He sees there's a future here. He's like Mo Green in The Godfather. The future's on the table. Now, Maduro says he will help Trump stop the drugs, saying they're experts in stopping drug cartels move product through their country. What? Really? This he's one of the leaders of the cartel. His 2 brother-in-laws are big shots in the cartel. I think what he's doing is shaking in his boots, and he knows what's going to happen in Venezuela if they don't straighten their act out. Venezuelans, the people, they want Trump to come in and free them from the illegal President Maduro. And Maria Corina Machado, the opposition leader, is waiting for Maduro to be removed and have free, fair elections for Venezuela. She says Venezuela has been turned into a criminal country with Russia, China, and Iran involved in running criminal enterprises. So, yeah, she's ready to go. She's ready to be put me in, coach. Put me in, and to run the country properly and get these cartels and Trendy Aragua and all these gangs out of there, criminal gangs. So we'll see what happens there, but it's escalating all the time. And Maduro's moved 15,000 troops to the shore of the nation. And if there's an incursion by the Marines or anybody else, he's ready to take care of it. But I don't think you'll see that. I mean, the United States will just send drones and they'll blow up the presidential palace. They'll have drones flying over there, missiles coming in. They'll have all kinds of stuff on. If anybody steps on land, it's going to be to clean up the mess. There'll be a cleanup of anything. I mean, they're just not up to the United States Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Space Force, anything. Okay, so the latest thing in the US, and this is pretty cool because I've been waiting for this one. I think a lot of people have, is that Senator Ron Johnson is going to speak live at an event called Turning the Tide, a truth movement in Washington to expose the truth behind 9/11. And I've been waiting for this because I've known since day one this is an inside job. This was not some terrorist flying planes into buildings and then the buildings collapsing. No, that's not the way it happened. And they're going to be looking at the takedown of the Twin Towers and especially Building 7 that changed American life forever. I mean, really, 9/11 changed everything for everybody worldwide, not just America. I mean, Tucker Carlson, he used to chastise people for believing that this was an inside job. He believed the story that was told, which to me was the biggest conspiracy theory. But now he's changed his mind. He's changed his mind after looking at the evidence, and he believes that it wasn't a bunch of terrorists being controlled by a man in a cave in Afghanistan that was able to get the U.S. military to stand down that day and fly planes at 500 miles an hour into buildings. And then the buildings collapsing, which has never happened to a steel building in the history of steel buildings, and have them collapse at free fall speed and take out another building that wasn't even hit. So finally, the truth may come out. A truth that I have always known. My conspiracy theory was the guy in the cave in Afghanistan. It was a false flag event to start a war against what ended up being Iraq, Saddam Hussein, and he didn't have anything to do with it. They fabricated this. They fabricated the weapons of mass destruction, and they lied about that. And then they went in and blew up Iraq. And the guy who they blamed was sitting in a cave in Afghanistan, Osama bin Laden, and they didn't go after him. They went after Iraq. So phony. So phony. Truth is going to come out. Truth's coming out about a lot of stuff right now. Truth's coming out about a lot of stuff. It's going to get interesting in the next few months going into the new year. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in space. There's a lot going on with these Russiagate and 9/11 and the Epstein files, which were released. I mean, there's so much going on. It's hard to talk about everything going on in the world right now. But things are getting solved. Conflicts are getting resolved, and it's all coming to an end. And before this show comes to an end, I have to get to my last sponsor, Niagara Parks Commission. And if you haven't heard by now, because everybody's talking about it, Niagara Takes Flight is now open, the immersive experience that the Niagara Parks Commission spent $25 million to put together. And it is said to be second to none. It's unbelievable. And you know, the parks, they not only are custodians of 32 miles of the most beautiful parkway in the world, they're also the guys who put attractions down the park for people to enjoy while they're here. And of course, the centerpiece of everything is the Niagara Falls themselves, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, by the way. But once you see that, what else is there to do? Well, refurbish power stations. Trips right to the brink of the falls. You can watch them coming down right beside you. They have the Great Gorge Walk, Class 6 rapids that are non-navigable. I think I got that word right. By boats. You just can't go through them. Too dangerous. You've got the whirlpool where the Niagara River comes over the falls and takes a right-hand turn to go down into to Lake Ontario. You have zip lines. You have boats. You have so many things to do. And the Niagara Parks Commission offers not only historical pieces of Niagara Falls history. They also offer these immersive experiences like Niagara Takes Flight, which will fly you from Lake Ontario up the Niagara River, see the power plants, up the falls. You see history being made. This is a historical area where the War of 1812 was fought. It's unbelievable. They take care of it all. Even Bob Gale, you can go see his goats down the Niagara Parkway towards Fort Erie. It's amazing. Niagara Parks Commission, they're the stewards. They take care of everything and they do a heck of a job, and they've been doing it for well over 100 years. Go to niagaraparks.com. You can see all they have to offer, see all the different discounts, the attractions packages, the parking packages. It's amazing. Support our sponsors. They support the show, and Niagara Parks Commission does a great job. Okay, and that's it for me today. That's it. I'm done. I've had it with crime. I've had it with everything. The next thing that we're going to talk about tomorrow, maybe we'll get to some subjects like all these Russiagate guys going to go into Hoosgow. They're wearing orange. And they're going to all look good in orange. They're getting arrested. It's coming down. The whole ship is sinking on these guys. And they're all going Clapper, Brennan, Clinton, Obama. Obama's the lead guy. He's the leader of the gang. He's the guy who's going to be perp walked in orange, and he's going to look good in it. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. We'll talk more about the Middle East tomorrow. We'll talk more about Russia tomorrow, and about the city and city council and anything else that's happening. I think the mayor's barbecue is this weekend. You can go see all the muckety mucks there at the Serbian grounds on Montrose Road on Sunday, I think it is. And apparently Doug Gilmore is going to be there from 1 to 3. Yeah, he's going to be there signing autographs and stuff. So anybody remembers who Doug Gilmore is, you can go down and see Doug Gilmore. And I know he's a friend of Mike Strange, and everybody knows him. So anyway, I'm not going. I have more important things to do than go to a mayor's barbecue. That's the way it is. Sorry about that, Mayor Jim. Sorry about that, but I'm sure they won't miss me. I'm not the most liked guy at City Council. My name is Paul Calamere. This is Your City, Your Voice, 4680Q Radio, downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, overlooking the meteor crater. Don't forget to support our sponsors. They're great people. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, Hamel Machine Company, and the Niagara Parks Commission. God bless you all. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy the rain. It's making your lawn green. Don't get too upset about it. Read a good book or something. That's what you need. I'm out of here. Promises made, promises kept. We'll see you tomorrow at noon, and be good. Be good. Be safe.